Okay, it is 10 o'clock Pacific time. We are officially started with day 2 of the Regenerative Legacy Summit. My name is Jared Sorensen. I am your host. I'm the owner, founder of the company called Ag Steward. It's Ag Steward is hosting this event. It is something that we started a year ago. We kicked off with a summit similar to this. We focused on being profitable while being regenerative. William started us off with a prayer yesterday, and I appreciate that. We have prayed about this summit. We've prayed for you guys. We've prayed for the weather. We know that there are areas of the country that are affected by adverse conditions. We're here in northeastern Nevada. We're not Las Vegas. This is not desert. This is high desert. We get snow and we get 4 seasons. Last night we got some snow and we got some rain. We've got a little of that W word, some wind. But I'm grateful for the ability to be able to be here with you. So as you're joining, please type in the chat where you're from, and then 1, 2, 3, or 4 from the options that I put on the screen here. 1 being I'm a rancher or livestock producer. 2, a farmer, grow crops or forage. 3, a regen ag enthusiast. Or 4, it's all of the above, right? So that helps us to know like who is our audience here today. And as we go back through these chat notes, we can see, okay, here's the people that we are attracting. Here's the people and how we can best serve them. So I really encourage you to participate in the chat today, right? So that's number 1 assignment for the day, who you are, 1, 2, 3, or 4, where you're from. Very good. So we've got some from Washington. I know I missed a whole bunch here. Illinois, a lot of 4s. Very good. Yeah, I am too. I would put myself in 4. I'm not a farmer in the sense that we don't have pivots and high-end irrigation, but I am a grass farmer and I love to grow cover crops and I love to grow grass. Very good. Southwest Colorado, Eastern Colorado, North Dakota. Very good. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it's just awesome. I'm very humbled to see the amount of interest that we have in regenerative agriculture. You're in the right place. If you want to learn the steps to build a legacy business that is profitable now and will last for generations to come, this is the summit for you. And I encourage you, as we learned about yesterday, remember those rules for engagement, that we're going to have a high level of respect. We're going to be 100, we're going to play out 100% because I have prepared at that level, our presenters have prepared at that level, and we ask that you participate at that level. And that means stay on. I mean, I understand some of you, and I see some of you with your cameras on. You know, you're out, you're doing chores in the morning. Absolutely. That's part of the lifestyle that we live. And I appreciate that you're willing to do that. So as a reward for that, if playing 100%, those that are on, and we strategically take screenshots to see who has their camera on, and we're kind of trolling and looking for participation. At the end of this, we're going to reward you for that. Lindsay got a book last night. This afternoon, we're going to give away some registrations to our 2-day event, which is an awesome don't miss event. To be able to implement the principles that we're learning here today on your business, we're going to take this high-level information and we're going to get it down, like one of my friends said, where the calves can eat it, at a level that you can digest and you can implement in your own business. So when you sign up for that, that's going to be more of hand-holding. This is going to be more, it's not very superficial pie in the sky. These are principles, but that next level in the 2-day course that we'll introduce you to, that's going to be the implementation phase. So we have over 100 participants on here today. We're expecting many more to join. We appreciate you being here. So to learn, to be reminded, it is important to learn. And so let's review what this looks like. Is I'm going to go through and I'm going to what we're going to do, we're going to review what we learned yesterday, and you guys are going to help. If we were in a classroom, we would pair up in groups of 3 and we would teach each other. But this is the second best thing. When we teach, we learn twice. Not everybody was able to be here, and those that were able to be here, that is okay, right? To be reminded is just as good to learn the first time. So let's remind ourselves what we learned. Key takeaways from our presenters yesterday. First off was Dave Pratt. What I took away, your legacy is not your assets. We need to separate ourselves from who we are and what we do. What were your epiphanies? What were your takeaways? What can you share with your fellow students that you took away from that presentation yesterday? Go ahead, throw some things up in the chat. Ranching for Profit was our sponsor yesterday. How many of you went and registered for one of their classes? It's not too late. You might have to be on a waiting list. Might not be till fall because their classes fill up because they're that good. What did you learn from Dave Pratt? Make a plan, write it down. So if the plan is made between two people, it doesn't get twisted and changed over time. Yeah, good thing. Have physical and financial boundaries between business and home. Communication, inheritance is not an owed debt. You guys are awesome. You guys were paying attention yesterday. I appreciate that. Families, that's the truth of it, right? Larry, family's not always easy. Sometimes family relationships are the most challenging relationships. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Keys to families are everyone being on the same page. And remember, we need to have a page to start with, right? Employees should return 3x the cost of their position. Cannot run a sustainable business on unsustainable effort. What do you want your legacy to be? Remember the homework that he encouraged you to do yesterday. The recording is going to be going out today to be able to view throughout this week. It's being uploaded right now onto YouTube, edited slightly. It's going to be pretty raw, but you can go back and you can review these. Family employment policies. Yeah, super important. Make boundaries. Know your why. Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of discussion about that. Very good. You guys are awesome. Dr. Jerry Duggar was our second speaker. Here's the thing. Here's the visual. I like to think in pictures. What did you guys learn from Dr. Jerry Duggar? He talked about the simple seven lifestyle, the 7 pillars that are going to support a healthy lifestyle. Dr. Duggar is a practicing chiropractor from Bountiful, Utah. He is one of our personal doctors, one of the ones that we consult with when we have a health question. We go to him. So these are the things that he talked about, the things that are super important. Breathing, good way to be able to relieve stress. Everybody take a deep breath right now. In and out. Remember that people that breathe tend to live longer. Yep, very good. Move, love, you nailed it. Cheap food costs in healthcare. Absolutely right. And food isn't that cheap right now. So we're paying for it twice. We're eating junk and then we have to go pay to fix it. Live longer, die shorter. Super. That was such a cool quote. I think it might have been a book. I haven't looked that up. Okay. Healthy living, eating organically, key to change. Yes. Yeah, you guys are good. Continue. This is what we want to see throughout the day is just sharing in the chat so that we can learn from each other. So that was Dr. Jerry Duggar. He's not a cowboy, he's not a rancher, but he does eat grass-fed beef. And when I asked him what the most nutritious food was, he said grass-fed liver. So that guy's got to be good, right? If he can say that. Okay, Chris Miles. Here's the 3 points that I took away. There's a lot more. His presentation crashed on him, and so it was just an audio deal. But he knows the business. Get lean, get liquid, get out. Get lean. Be in a place where you're in a position when other people are scared that you can take advantage of the market conditions. Liquidity. Always have cash available. Bud Williams principle. Never run out of cash, never run out of grass. And then if it's too high to buy, it's probably time to sell. Right? So get out before when everybody else is getting in. Maybe that's the way to get out. So yeah, you guys are good. Cash flow equals freedom. Don't be afraid of alternative investments. Cash is king. Live life now, not tomorrow. Don't live for the future. Very good. I hope you enjoyed Chris Miles. I'm grateful that he was on. I know he seemed a little outside the realm of regen ag, but look, we're talking about building a legacy business, and that his message was key to that. Todd Churchill. The way I summarized it, his talk was a little bit heavy, and I liked what somebody put in the foundation. because it's what somebody put in the chat, because it's the foundation of a solid business. We have to be able to track and measure. There's a saying, you can't manage what you can't measure. I like to say we can't steward what we can't measure. So if we're going to be good stewards, we have to be able to measure it. And he's going to help us to learn, or he taught us the basics of enterprise accounting. And if you don't even know what that word means, we're going to talk a lot about that in the 2-day class that we offer, what it means. Like a lot of us, and we'll ask here later how many enterprises you have within your business. Like we think we're just ranchers, but really we develop heifers, we have a cow calf, we have a forage production, custom grazing. Those are all different enterprises. Learn the language of business. Thank you, Carl. Yes, good summary. Accounting is a gateway to financial freedom. Be different than the average. Commodity markets are designed to cover only the cost of production. Wasn't that interesting when he shared that? It's no wonder that we're break-even businesses in ranching, right? And I don't think it was a conspiracy against us. It's just the nature of it. Like we have to be able to stand out, definitely study history. Thank you for those comments. Okay. Who was next? Doug Ferguson, sell by marketing. Positive cash flow is possible in all market conditions. So we can no longer blame the market. We can no longer say, well, this market just isn't giving it to me right now. Therefore, I'm running in the red. I'm running at a loss. No, we have to be able to take responsibility for the decisions we make, and we absolutely can choose when we buy and when we sell. The margin is made, the profit is made on replacing our inventory. Okay, so sell by marketing. I appreciate that he was able to address that, and a lot of other things there. What else did you take away? Spend money with purpose. Very good. ×2, a couple of can't afford the expense if the business climate changes. Yeah, what if we buy that expensive piece of equipment and all of a sudden interest rates raise, or what is my return rate? Looking at it as a business. And I appreciated the comments that we are in, somebody put it, we're not in the cattle business, we're in the business of cows. So go ahead and chat if you can, mute if you can. Thank you. Very good. Cameras on, appreciate that. Okay, and last, Jared Sorensen. I spoke about the stewardship balance, and that as we grow the steward, as we build a team, as we educate ourselves and move the fulcrum to the right, our ability to steward increases. Okay, we're going to talk more about this. Please study this, ponder it, because this is the foundation for not only this class, it's the foundation for the follow-up 2-day class. And the interesting thing in the 2-day class, we talk about the reasons why your business will fail. Oh yeah, kill and manage ants. Very good. Yeah, ants stand for automatic negative thoughts. What other key takeaways did you get from that, the stewardship balance presentation? Go ahead and type in the chat. What were your key takeaways? Teach our fellow students, build a team. Absolutely. Move the fulcrum. There's various ways. Education is one of them. Increased capacity equals increased stewardship, transparency. Who can remember the 4 principles of stewardship? Type those in the chat if you've got them in your notes. If it's out of balance, it will naturally come into balance with the loss of stewardship. Absolutely. Yeah. Keep trying. If you guys are being kicked off here, try not to turn your video on. Although I've asked you to, that might help you to stay on the audio. You can also go and you can join just over the phone if you guys are having trouble jumping on this Zoom link. So, is that a good enough review? I mean, we just covered 6 hours in 10 minutes. So why go back and listen to it? Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what was spoken about yesterday. I encourage you, admonish you, invite you to go back and watch the recording. and study it. And so when we send out the bonus of the lifetime access, what we're working on is breaking out each of these speakers into their own individual videos. So if you want to learn specifically from Dave Pratt and the 20 something principles of building a legacy business, you can go there and you can rewind and watch it as your team. If you want to learn about sell by marketing, you can skip to Doug's. So that's our goal. And I think we have the team to be able to do that. Last year I couldn't, this year I think we do. Okay. Everyone is a steward. How, not how much. Stewardship greater than ownership. Increased capacity equals increased stewardship. Very good. John, you are awesome. John, can you send me a private message? I'm going to send you a book. Send me your address. You get a bonus for the day. I don't know if you guys knew it or not, but a few years ago, I was inspired to write a book. And the book is called Searching for Home, Finding Grace. At the time, I didn't know it, but it outlines these principles that we're talking about in a fictional form. So I invite you to check that out. So, John, if you can maybe ping me or Justine with your address, that would be awesome. Or you can reply back to the text message. And I appreciate the staff that's behind the scenes. All of us have families that are supporting us and being here today. My daughter, McKady, is at school in Virginia. She's helping to monitor the chat in between classes. Justine is here. My wife is milking the cow and with my son, Weston. The chores are being done. My son's on his way to sale right now to implement sell by marketing. All of us have the opportunity to be part of a family, be part of a team, and we appreciate and acknowledge that. And thank you most of all for showing up. I sincerely appreciate the effort to be here. Encourage you to stay to the end. Encourage you again to keep the cameras on, play full out, be present, remove the distractions, and stay. What are we going to talk about? Why are you going to fail? William and I had this conversation a little bit last night. Oh, there's a lot of reasons why we would fail at ranching. If you open up any trade magazine, they're going to answer one of these following things. Well, you just got to production. You got to get more yield, more weaning weights. Put in this implant, give this dewormer, and you're going to get 25 more pounds. Give this vaccination to prevent this disease. Overwhelming death loss. Well, you gotta address that. That's killing you. You just don't have the right genetics to be able to be profitable. So buy some high-powered bulls, and we've got the only bulls in the nation that are gonna work on your operation, guaranteed. You know, technology, you've just got to upgrade. You're living in the last century. There's an app for that right now. Equipment, soil health, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. What do you guys think? Is this why we're going to fail? They might be contributing factors, but they're the fruit, not the root. And as we learned yesterday, if all we do is address the fruit in our health, we're never going to solve the underlying symptom, the underlying problems. We're dealing with the symptoms, not the problem. So what is the problem? Well, first of all, we need to change our paradigm. Remember yesterday, we were invited to tuck that piece of paper that represented everything that we knew about farming and ranching in the drawer for 3 days and forget first principle of learning. We've framed this question wrong. It's not why will you fail? It's not even why your business will fail. It's why the business you steward will fail. Because if our business fails, it doesn't mean that we're a failure. I could write a book on failure, you guys. Tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars that my inexperience and lack of skills and ability, and mostly all lack of mindset, has cost our business. Like my dad would have been way better off to say, hey, go to Harvard. We're going to give you a full ride endowment here to go and get an education. It would have been way less expensive than what it cost this business. But the education came. And now we get to share it with you so that you don't have to go through that. So why is your business going to fail? Why? Nope. See, I fell back into it. Again, it's not your business, right? It's the business that we steward. Why is the business why could it fail? See, it's not why is it going to fail? We changed two things. that fundamentally changes the way that we look at it. And I'm having to reprogram my own system to be able to read it right. Why the business you steward could fail. It could be because it's not profitable. That was the whole focus of our summit last year and the underlying principle of regeneration this year. It could fail because it's not profitable. It could fail because of relationships. How many ranches are split up because of a divorce? Because two brothers just can't get along. Because one of the siblings wants to be bought out and there's not the cash flow to be able to do it. It's not a cash flow problem in that scenario. It's a relationship problem. Stress, burnout, and depression. Ranchers, farming and ranching is one of the most stressful industries and the highest degree of depression and even suicide of all industries. Why is that? Aren't we supposed to love what we do? Don't we love being out with the cows and in nature? We do. So why are we stressed about it? We learned about the cost of stress from Dr. Duggar yesterday. Our businesses, the businesses that we steward, there I did it again. The businesses that we steward could fail because of debt. It's not too much debt. It's not that the debt it means that we're not profitable. It could be that that debt is structured wrong. Okay, so let's address what the root issues are. That's the point of this summit here today. That's the point of the 2-day follow-up class. That's what we're going to invite you to participate with us in here today. So Justine, go ahead and drop in the chat for those that are on here first thing this morning, the direct link to sign up for the 2-day class. In my presentation later, we're going to talk more about that. So there we go. It's a $3,000 class that we knew that because it was virtual and because we wanted people to attend, we thought, okay, let's sell it at $500. And my team pushed back and they said $47. We prayed about it. We thought about it. We thought about you. We realized you're going to invest some time. And so sign up. That is the price, $47. We're going to walk through this class later and how it addresses each of these root issues, not being profitable, how to strengthen relationships, how to manage stress, and how to get out of debt. And still, that's the negative part of it, right? We're going to talk about, those are the things that we don't want. We're going to talk about what we do want. So as we get started here today, thanks for lighting up the chat. Continue to do that. Put in your, thank you for signing up, Julie. Very good. Navigate to that and we'll walk through that here in my presentation. We encourage you to stay, to participate, to engage, and to give feedback. There's things that just don't land. Ask a question, right? Ask those questions, and they may not be answered by us on the team or by the presenter. I've had questions where our fellow participants are able to be the ones that answer because they're super smart. I mean, you guys are smart. You're involved. You're in the trenches in regenerative agriculture. You guys know what to do. And so we are just along in the journey beside you, along with you, helping and supporting you. Yep. And we're not the experts on your operation. On a consulting call once, I had one of the clients that I was talking to I asked her the question, who is the expert on your ranch? And she was completely in a different environment, a different country. And she's like, you are. I said, no, who is the expert on your ranch? I don't know. Who's the expert on your ranch? You are. Who's the expert on your ranch? And finally, it clicked. I am. I am the expert for my ranch. You are the expert for your operation, your farm or ranch or the business that you're going to start. And we can help you in that journey. Whether you're just starting out and you don't own anything, or you steward thousands or millions of acres, the principles are the same. So let's join in this journey. Let's take the next step. And that could be signing up for you. Check in. Is that the right thing? Absolutely.